Hey, once again, it is Dave Fields from WIRK talking about kids escaping drugs. And joining me today, we have Jodie Altman. She's the Deputy Executive Director of the Renaissance House. And Jodie, I know you've been with the Renaissance House since day one. So why don't you just talk about exactly what you guys do? People don't know what you're all about.
So we are a 77-bed campus for kids ages 12 to roughly 24. We have two different levels of care. So we have 47 beds for our rehab beds.
Okay.
And that's for kids that are unable to maintain sobriety on the outside and need the inpatient. It's basically inpatient residential. So they get all their services with us. They go to school with us, which is all coordinated through their home schools. They have individual and family counseling because we believe that the child may be the one that's got substance use disorder, but the family gets sick right along with them and everybody needs to be made whole again. So we involve the families, whatever that looks like for our kids. It's not necessarily a mom or a dad. It could be siblings. It could be grandma and grandpa. But we do that individually. Our kids have a lot of group therapy here, a lot of evidence-based groups. We have a strong mental health component. So a lot of times with our kids, they have a substance use disorder, but they also have a co-occurring mental health disorder. So we're able to treat that as well. We have lots of recreation. They're teenagers. You know, kids are bored from the minute they wake up till the minute they go to bed. So we really not just do physical recreation in our beautiful gym and our grounds, but the community, Western New York, is amazing to us. So pre-COVID, we got to do lots of field trips. We would go to Bison's games, Bills games. People are just really wanting to help kids, so they give them lots of experiences.
And you talk about
I'm sorry?
I'm saying you talked about pre-COVID. How has that COVID-19 affected you guys and what you're trying to do with these kids?
Well, it's interesting. The other level of our care is our reintegration or halfway houses. And those are our kids, and this is a COVID question, those are our kids that have completed some level of treatment for whatever reason, home's not okay.
Yeah.
So they live with us, but they get their services off the campus. So they go for outpatient substance use counseling, mental health counseling. They go to college, they go to high school, and they can work.
Okay.
Enter COVID, and we completely shut the campus down. So no longer could they go to work. Outpatients, everything became telehealth. So COVID kind of threw a monkey wrench into our campus, and we were just talking now, and we, as a leadership team and as a staff of the campus, kind of figured out step by step how we had to do things. And did we make some errors? Of course we did, but we were able to keep COVID off our campus. We were able to keep our kids safe. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for.
Do you find yourself now pre or post COVID-19 with these kids making a plan for the future, that things that you found out worked with the kids on lockdown and quarantine, that you're like, well, that could actually work when we come back to quote unquote normal again?
The biggest thing, and that's a great question, the biggest thing is that as a campus, we came together. We have 4 separate houses, and you have staff in each house, and we function together, but we really had to function together for the past 3 months. And we've done a lot with the kids in terms of trying to make whatever normal is for them during this time. So we've done a lot of fun activities. We've done a lot of social activities on the campus, obviously in the beginning separately by house, socially distancing, all of that kind of stuff. But we've done lots of competitions. So kids versus staff. And we just talked about, you know, that's something we need to keep doing. Everybody on the campus knows all the kids, and the kids know all the staff.
You're already doing a lot where you have a lot of the services under one roof. And that is actually a big benefit, correct? When you're trying to get these kids through a treatment process?
It's an extreme benefit. Definitely for our kids that are in rehab, we are kind of a one-stop shop. They get all their needs met here: medical, psychiatric, recreational, educational. You know, we're able to do all of that here. Our other kids that are in the halfway house rely on outside sources. So as you can imagine, that's kind of gotten interrupted, gone to telehealth. You know, they've not been able to go to school or work, so they've really had to kind of figure out how to spend their time. But again, the staff, the kids, we've really kind of come together and figured it out together.
And I know a lot of parents are probably super excited that, at-home learning wrapped up and their kids are no longer having to do be a mom, be a teacher, be someone who goes to work. But, you know, they probably spend a lot more time than they were with their children of all ages. But now as school maybe set to get ready in the fall, what are some things that parents may want to watch out for over the summertime or when school resumes, a little signs that maybe their child is doing something that they shouldn't be doing?
Well, good point. I think now that school is done, we need, as parents, need to start looking now.
Okay.
Because now there's no structure. They don't have their activities. In most cases, they're not able to work. So we need to look at, routines. Are their routines changing? Are they suddenly sleeping all day, up all night? Is their hygiene? That's a big one. They're living at home. Is their hygiene different? When people start to use chemicals, those things kind of slip. I'm a big supporter of who are they talking to? Who are they texting? Who are they Instagramming? Having those conversations with kids, checking phones. We see now, we weren't able to do admissions. We're now able to do admissions with a whole lot of structure, but what we suspected would happen and what is starting to happen is our phones are starting to ring.
Okay.
This has been a horrible time for substance use. It's been a horrible time for mental health. I don't think we've seen the complete result of that, and we won't for a while. But the family members, who's ever with these kids, need to really, really be talking to them and looking for things that change and change suddenly.
And again, social media is a big part of these kids' lives now with Snapchat and Twitter and all that. That's something that parents probably should have access to their children's passwords.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Kids, as adults, we have a hard enough time not putting our feelings on social media. Kids have an even harder time. And they don't understand necessarily or don't process necessarily that once it's there for good. So mom and dads or who's ever taking care of these kids need to have access, need to be looking at what are they saying? How are they saying it? Who are they talking to? If you suddenly see a bunch of new people on your son or daughter's social media, you need to ask the questions. And there's not a dumb question. So don't ever think it's a dumb question. I always tell families, I tell parents, go with your gut. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't.
And again, as they're talking to their kids, they have those conversations. If someone's maybe concerned, if they're watching right now, they may be concerned about their son or daughter, or maybe someone that they're living with, or a nephew or a niece, how can they get a hold of you to maybe start that process of treatment?
So they can call us, 827-9462. They can go on our website, which is ked.org. And actually on our website describes all our programming. There's also an Ask the Counselor button.
Okay.
So that if they click on that, it will actually come to me and I will answer their question or I will point them in the right direction. Again, go with your gut. If there's a question, it's not a dumb question, just ask it.
And I know you said you really recently started doing admissions, so the phone has been ringing. What are your normal hours? If somebody, are you guys 24/7 they can call, or certain hours they want to call?
There's always somebody here 24/7 because our kids live with us. Our admissions counselors are here at 8 in the morning. They're generally 8 to 4, but they are as flexible as the day is long. So whatever time they need to work with your child, talk to you, they will do that.
All right. Well, Jodie, thank you for taking time to talk to us. I know it's a little bit different, the Zoom, instead of doing it person to person, but I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you having me.